The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here on this Thursday, the 23rd of October. We're looking at the Dow up. This is very interesting. The Dow is up 16 at 46,610. We've actually implemented a short position here for the Dow. More in the sense that I haven't got a sell signal yet, but I wanted to give it today. It's still got until tomorrow to really target the area, this inside track repellent zone. And it looks to me from the way the market's acted that it's going to be very difficult for the Dow to spike to 47,000 plus just under these particular conditions, especially since there's talk about Russia and the oil. You can see oil. Look at the way oil's spiking because of the Russian news. Big spike up $3.10, 61.61. I don't really have, now look at this. This is going to be interesting because I'm going to go back to the Dow. That weekly chart is still in leg C, but it's also underneath that inside track repellent zone. The day is young. Anything can happen. We can turn. What I said to subscribers, well, let me just finish the story here. S&P, as I said, is up quite nicely, up 17, up 16 at 67.16. The QQQ is up 0.33%. The S&P is up 0.25, and the Dow is up 0. It's actually now negative. So you've got the QQQ doing quite nicely at 607.75, up 2.27. It's the chart itself has this pattern that I spoke about, the rectangle formation that makes an arch, fails just under, or just above the previous high, and that was that peak G at 613.18 on the 10th of October. So it went to 612.80. Wow, I mean, just 38 cents. Well, just nothing. Just an eye blink away from making a new high. And that just tells me I've got to monitor this particular pattern. The 914 is still strong. MACD's weak. Retro strength is weak. Stochastic is at 82%. That's good. On balance volumes pull back. So I don't really have any signals here in the QQQ other than there's a chance that if there's a sudden pullback in the next day or two, today and tomorrow going into Friday, then this weekly chart could make a peak C1 and maybe a peak C2. Yeah, we'll talk about that when the time comes, which will be next week. But at this particular point, I'm looking at upside resistance. But here's the thing. The IWM had a nice bounce. It's pulling back a little bit from the heights at 244.84. It is up $1.51. It went to 245.77, but that's way off the 252.77 high of mid-October. So we're going to be watching that. Now, here's the other thing. The SMHs, the semiconductors, very nice spike to the upside, 341.93, up 3.33. But the way I read it, I'm looking at NVIDIA. I think that the semis are having a tough time. And I wouldn't be surprised by next week if they start to pull back. But there is risk here because you've got any announcement can make one of them pop to the upside, which pushes the SMHs to a higher high. But I'm anticipating some weakness to come. Now, here's the thing. So now I haven't finished. Let's go to the gold. Gold is up 101. This is also part of that Russia thing. That really helped. If there wasn't the Russia thing with crude oil going, I think we might have had just a modest high, a modest up move today, and maybe another down move tomorrow. But this is actually giving gold as a geopolitical instrument, which is really important, some strength. But do you see it in silver? Well, silver is up $1.40. At 49.09, so that's up almost 3%. What did I say? Gold was up in percentage terms 2.5. Hey, so this is very interesting, right? Let's go back to that silver chart. Yeah, the silver chart's right up against the 14-period, the 9-period exponential moving average, which is still above the 14, which is a positive. That's what I was saying, that we've lightened up our gold and silver position, but I want to still keep some part as a core because I think that there's going to be some activity. I don't think it's done, one and done. This is not one big move that started back in right there. What was that, May? Or was that April? That was the April low? Yeah, the April low in the silver contract. Okay. Now let's go to GDX. GDX is up. GDX is up some. Yeah, it's up $1.42 at 74.39. I'm treating this so far as a bounce, but the 9-period moving average did turn negative today. So we're going to watch it. That's the market vectors gold minus ETF. So let's just look at Exxon. I thought Exxon, I looked at it yesterday. I thought, oh, this is quite nice action. And it followed through today. It's actually a red candle, but it's up $1.13 at 115.84 because it's far down from the opening 116.63 open. I'm watching this closely. I decided I wasn't going to do anything in the crude oil. Anything can happen with Trump. Whatever he says is going to impact the crude oil and gold, I think, if he suddenly ameliorates this tension. We'll see what happens. Now, I needed to go to I did that. High-grade copper was up. High-grade copper was up. It's up 10 cents at 5.09. Very nice candle. The 9-period moving average never went negative with about 9 sessions underneath the green 9-period moving average. And today it's nicely above it. All right, we're going to watching that. So I decided that, have I finished what I wanted to say? No, TBT had made a trough F. The TBT, which is the inverse of the, those are the yields themselves. Where did I type that? TBT. Yeah, that was a TBT. The TLT had gone to a peak D, tiny doji candle, pulls back. I'm going to be watching whether yields will stay or not. Let's see. We always go to Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers is down 90 cents. Had a nice push from the 126-ish area to almost 140, and now it's pulled back. All right, we're going to be watching this closely. Now, what I want you to say is, I had a question yesterday towards the end of the day, whether or not I had targeted for Robinhood a pullback, if it was going to be a pullback, that should come back. And I said, I don't know, it'll be ideal if it goes towards the 123, 120 area. And then I'd like to buy some for a counter trend bounce. Well, it turns out it went right there, went to 120.88, and a subscriber said, asked me through Dan whether or not I thought this is the target I wanted. At 123, should we buy? And I said, I'd like to hold off. I just wasn't sure, because if it actually went lower today, that would have been very negative. So it was a little bit risky, but you know what? It's now at 129.47. It is a counter trend bounce. So what we've done with our stocks is we've had incredible gains, but pretty serious drops in the shorter term. As I said, I want to see them rally to take a little bit more off, and then we're going to decide. I'll be back because it's something I want to discuss as well. Yesterday, you remember I was looking at the shares of Alcoa. I promised my subscribers that I'd do it live in the show. We had gone long in the 36 area. Today, it's at 40.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
So I hate talking about these things because it's sort of stuff you just want to do between you and your subscribers. But how else does anybody know what you're doing if you have a newsletter and you want to be able to have people out there at least understand what you do and maybe subscribe? It's really difficult just to be quiet. You need to actually promulgate what's working. So I just want to show you this here. Yeah, the 1 minute chart of the E-mini. The 1 minute chart went to a peak D at the high of 67.66 and it's pulled back. And where does it stop? Just about, it's going right to the 200 period exponential moving average of 67.40. There was a single move, actually two move up in the 5 minute chart, but that was accelerated by the 8:30, whatever the news was, the turnaround, and now it's turning down. And the 10 minute chart had the same thing. But what's really important is that we'll see how it's right on both the 1 minute 200 period moving average of 67.40 and the 5 minute of 67.40, and it looks like it wants to go right through. And that's the reason why I thought that shorting the Dow was really appropriate. Now, let me go back to this Alcoa. So I spent some time on Alcoa, and I mentioned how I was discussing certain aspects that the 9-period moving average was still very strong. Price was, at that point, hadn't gone underneath the 14-period moving average, but I really liked it. But the big problem here is that the market is, I think, starting to weaken. And therefore, this high that was made, yesterday, so we're long. And this is going to be very interesting because I had this choice. I was either going to go into one of our core positions that we've got, like a Robinhood, but I wanted to add to it, or Symbiotic, or an Iran, And just to add back today, I thought, wow, perfect. But I can't have too many positions because you've got to handle them, and it's really it makes it very difficult. Whenever I have too many positions, that's usually when we're getting to some kind of a market top. Even if I have shorts involved, it just says, you got to be careful. So there were three positions that I wanted. One was TGB, which is Taseko Mines, because it's in the copper area. So I skipped that, and it's had a very nice run. Two is a Robin Hood position, and or the one that I really like, and that was Symbiotic, but I didn't. I decided, you know what, we've already got this Alcoa. Let's see how that does. And will Alcoa last? Will it take out today's low of 37.69? Look, already it's given back a chunk. It hit 41.24. Now it's at 39.70. By the end of the day, could have given back a lot. That's what some of these stocks have been doing. Good earnings, good. Everything was looking good. But I think the market is telling us that you've got to be somewhat careful here. So it's a deep cyclical, normally at a peak E. I wouldn't really go. I have a small long or something like that. I decided we want to go. And not only that, earnings were coming up. Wow. But I really felt strongly that Alcoa's earnings should be pretty good. At worst, they should be okay. And therefore, our stop would get hit, which was a reasonable stop. And at best, it will be spiking to the upside. I never expected this. I didn't expect it to go above yesterday's high. The high that was made just the other day of 38. Was it 38? No, 39.28. So what do you do in a case like this? Well, look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart has this beautiful move up, the 9-period crossing positive. I've been looking at this for ages. I mentioned it ages ago. There's another one that I mentioned ages ago that we got in, and now that one's starting to slide a little bit. And I might say, all right, we'll just take a stop. We'll get out, and we'll come back later when it's ready. But in this particular instance, I need to see as a market projection. If you're looking at a General Motors, and I still haven't had a chance to check what's the aluminum output for the automobiles. It's there. I don't know if it's as great as it used to be. But anyway, General Motors had a really good move. Not a really good move. A spectacular move. It goes from 54 to 67. Today's high was 68.48, above yesterday's high. Now it's red. It's down 24 cents. And Ford did okay. Look, Ford. It's higher from the low that was just recently in the 11.20 area, and goes up to 12.60, pulling back a bit today. So I'm just saying that this is a very important moment for me. I don't want us to be guinea pigs. I don't want us to be in the incubator being tested. No, I want to see that this holds very nicely. Now it's only up 3.90. I shouldn't say only. It's a spectacular move. But I want to see how this holds, because it's going to tell us. Look at this weekly chart. Well, first of all, look at the resistance that it went to today. Right in the monthly chart, down channel, and I could even down trend line. I could even make this a channel line. The reason why I'm spending some time on this is because I think it's important. If Alcoa can start, I don't know if it can, but if it can start to move into the 43 to 44 area, I think that's telling us something about the overall market that all the bears are not seeing at all. Otherwise, if it starts to really plunge, go down to the 32s, I have to join them and say, hey, you know what? Not good action at all. So, okay, there's the monthly chart. Here's the weekly. Look at this. So it went right to, there. It went to this left side. I usually do left side, right side price time match. I didn't do it on this for some reason. 40.62 was the high the week of this 24th of January. Today's high, of course, went right through it. If I draw in a left side, right side price time match, I usually say, let's go right to the Grand Canyon wall that came straight down, not to the high, but let's go bump right up against it. And then we go to the right, make it right there. And I find a candle that I think is very important. And that would be this particular doji. I can't go to the low if I was doing this recently, going to the low would be silly. We've already passed that point. So I would then try to find a tiny doji candle. There it is, that one there, right? And I'd say, okay, let's see if that's going to work. But I also want the left side, right side time match to go with the inside wedge. And the inside wedge would go towards wherever this would match, right? So here's the pattern that we're going to go to. Right there. This becomes pink. This becomes green. And we put it in there. This one just goes straight up to there. Okay, so when Ray passed, it was much earlier. I should have used a different candle. Doesn't matter. This is the candle I said I probably would have used, and I would have had a target going to there. And look how it spiked through it today. So this is a good sign. Now, if it can close above this candle high, the candle high of 40.62 that was made in late January, then you can start talking about this ugly candle here from the week of December the 13th. So we go one step at a time. Day is young. It's pulling back. Oh no, this is still acting quite well. Good. So I just wanted to go through, this is just one example of what I think is the market overview that I try to give every week in my Friday overview, hour and a quarter, hour and a half sometimes, for subscribers based on what we're looking at and why. So I preferred to have gone with AA than actually look for a new entry into Robinhood, but even that's up very nicely. Okay, I'll be back in a moment.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
So just to recap, the reason why I spent this time on Alcoa is something I've followed Alcoa for years, decades. And it's really important. It's got nothing to do with our position. The position can get taken out, whatever. I'm looking at this and I'm saying Alcoa needs to find, look, this is another leg A. How many A's has it have failed? The A from 2023, January, up in the 55 area. Whoosh, comes all the way down to 23.07 October of 2023. Then it goes peak A, pulls back, goes to peak B, pulls back sharply, and it goes to C, and that starts our downtrend line. Here we've got another A, and this A is a fresh A because it went to a lower low than the 2307 low, went to the 22s, and here it is in leg A, bumping into the inside track repellent zone. So in a sense that I'm looking at the big picture, the reason why we did start we got a short in the Dow is just the sideways action is almost like it's, I wouldn't say insurance and I wouldn't say a trend. It is the start of what I am anticipating to be limited upside and to start seeing deeper downside pullbacks. This is a really difficult market to trade in the sense that what looks great today just looks horrible tomorrow, and then next day it looks great, and it's all to do with news. And you can't anticipate the news. You can just anticipate that there will be news, and that's what I'm saying. That if this can continue higher, it's really important that it actually Alcoa starts to trade in the 42s into the 43s. Now, why do I say that? Because so many things are dependent in the deep cyclical area on this doing well to show the cyclicality of the market, and that there are longer-term trends and there are shorter-term trends, and these deep cyclicals, like it used to be U.S. Steel, that was taken over, but like the steel stocks, like the automobiles, they have this cyclical phenomena that you need to be building up a lot of steam and upward support and higher levels of support to keep going higher, or you get this very whippy action. So we're watching. Okay, here we go. Next thing is, I forgot about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trading up today. It's up 1,715, hitting the 200-period moving average yet again, trying to rally. But have a look at this chart. So I always get these questions. Can you show us examples of the Rogue Wave and the Eiffel Tower? Well, look what happens. You're over here. Now, let me make this a little smaller. Let me go like that. Yeah. So you're over there. You're over there. And you're looking at this chart. This is the 120-minute chart. It doesn't matter what it is. This is the chart. You got a really nice from the 100, just under 104. This instrument's going peak A, peak B, peak C, peak D. And the MACD is moving up. The 9-period is moving up. The stochastic is moving up. Oops, all of a sudden it's starting to move down. Oops, the on-balance volume is starting to move down. So that's a little bit of a warning. So you think, oh, and there it is. The 9-period moving average goes below the 40, and you say, you know what? I am shorting Bitcoin. Well, it doesn't matter that it's Bitcoin. This instrument, I'm shorting whatever it is. And you short it, and you look good, and you look good. Whoops, a little bit of a bounce. It's not a problem. Look, the 9-period moving average still. And then suddenly it goes whoosh like that. Now, the rule of thumb with a move like this is that you were correct in being short. You had no idea that there would be this sudden whip to the upside, although the stochastic did go under 20%. That's usually a bit of a warning. And then what happens is the bar that goes to the high goes the high above the previous high long enough for those who were short to say, "Oh, I knew I shouldn't have shorted. This is one of the best stocks in the world. Why did I short it? I have to cover." And then the ones who were long and saying, "Oh, I knew I shouldn't have taken profits. I'm getting back into this," and that it goes there. Usually this is a 120-minute chart, right? Usually it goes there just long enough for the buyers to rebuy and the sellers to resell, the shorts to cover, the buyers to commiserate and rebuy. And then that very bar, this is not exactly that, turns down, and within moments it's below where you got in. And that's the Eiffel Tower. Looks straight up, straight down. That's the Rogue Wave. Look, it went. You were correct in shorting right there, but who knew about that news? Whoosh, it goes up. What does it do? It hits the 200-period moving average. It hasn't touched that for ages, and then it gets repelled, and then it comes down. So this is Bitcoin, and you can see now it's starting to add a double bottom. So this is A, and this is B. All right, so now I've got a bunch of questions that I haven't gotten to yet. I will get to. Okay, so what I'm saying is that this is the period. This is exactly what I spoke about in my newsletter today. I said, let me just get it right here. So here's the opening paragraph. Friday Traders Corner question. Are the key indices about to join the cascade in gold, silver, Bitcoin, and our IBIT? That's the Bitcoin because we belong from much lower down. General Electric, we also down from long from a little bit left from much lower down. Hood, we're still long from 16s, just got a little bit left. On the way, we had other trades. Iran, we long from the 22s. It screamed much higher much higher than Symbiotic, same thing. And I say, which all cascaded, or are they so oversold they could have a sudden sharp bounce, giving a bit of a boost to the key indices? So that's the way we were looking at it, and that's kind of what we've got today. So now let me show you something. I'm going to go to it. I had a question about it, so I'll show it right now. Here's Robinhood. It would have been a great entry. Right there, you had a chance this morning at 128.28. It's now 131.69. As a counter trend trade, we're waiting for higher prices because on some of these positions, because we want to get out of some of them that we're still a little bit too long. So let me show you the other one, Symbiotic. Love the stock, but it's had a really sharp pullback. This is end-to-end AI robotic warehouse automation. We're in from the 48 level. It hit 79.58. We've taken real nice profits. We've still got enough left. And I said, let's see what I said. Yeah, so we're looking for a little bit higher prices, and we're going to take a little bit more off. Right? We can always add back. Maybe this is the move that goes even higher. You never know, right? And the other one was IRET. Yeah, okay. And we're in that from the 22s, and it went to 74.15, taking a little bit off. And we wanted to take a little bit more if it has a decent rally. But that's up 3.54, 55.37. Energy, next generation data centers, renewable energy, and GPUs. I'll be back. The Dow is now up 27, S&P's up 24.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hi folks, so we're looking at GEV. Question came in, could I do an analysis of this? So it's one that I loved, and we've just never done anything about it. So this is GE Vernova LLC, Global Energy Resources. It's had yesterday's candle was just horrible. This is a perfect Chapman Roman candle at the lows, a red one. And if it at any point to this next bar, that's today, went under 560 for more than 40 minutes, there's a good chance it would have retested the low of yesterday's 532.72. That was the low. But if it went above this pink 9-period moving average of 596 and the high day so far is 597.94, and then closed between the pink 9 and the 14-period moving average, that would say there could be a bounce above that high of yesterday of 609.54. But that rectangle going down below it is never, in the weekly chart, is never a good sign. Now, I have had to put a down arrow at this peak F, even though the 9-period moving average has been very strong above the 14, even though it's only been under the it's only closed a couple of times in these many weeks, about almost 2 months, under the 14-period moving average. It hasn't closed under the 14-period moving average once, but it has closed under the 9 a couple of times. I just think it's due for a rest, and my suspicion is it'll worm its way down to the 536 that I said it was, or 39. 532.72 area. It'll worm its way down there over a period of time. And just keep in mind that 560 level is going to be really important. That's the halfway marker in this long wick of yesterday. Now, what would be positive? Today is the 23rd of October. If by the first full week of November, that's the week of the 6th, the week of the the 3rd. I'd say the week of the 3rd of November. If in that week is trading above 622, that's a really nice recovery. It's back in the rectangle, and it's much more positive. To become really positive, I need to see a nice V-shaped turnaround in the daily chart that goes right into this ugly candle of the 15th of October. 664. I mean, that's way off. That's going to require quite a lot. So even 515 and then touching, 615 to 620, that would be very impressive. All right. Next question came in. Could I look at, oh, yes, the CLF. You remember CLF? And I said, what is going on here? This is one that we wanted, didn't get in, and I wasn't prepared to chase it. And then suddenly it spikes. It's doing, it's just walking the 9-period moving average and the 14 just beautifully. And it's all positive. Suddenly has this news-related spike. It goes, one day it's tootling in the 14s. Next day it's at 1670. Peak F, because the next day it plummets down, gaps down, and there it is in the 13s. It's at 1324. So I'm just saying, this is Alcoa. I don't want to see this chart. I want to see a really positive. Now, this is Cleveland-Cliffs rolled steel. You see, that's what I'm saying. This is deep cyclical. I don't want to see this. This is, well, let me look at the others. STLD. Well, I haven't done this for ages. I bet there's no notation there, even though I used to notate it every day. It made an all-time high just the other day in the 150s, trading 151. Oh, look at this. Yep, double top potential, but 155.56 was the high in November of 2024. A year later, it gets to 156.24. Is this going to make that kind of double top we always talk about, or is this going to continue? This is Steel Dynamics. And what about the other one that's always a great, Reliance Steel RS? I think Reliance Inc. I'm not sure if this is a steel company. I don't know. Is it RS? Yeah, I think. Well, maybe it's not. What was the other one that I always look at? Steel company. No, it doesn't matter right now, because what we want to look at is just to say that that Cleveland-Cliffs, I don't know if it was a one-off, and it's always been one of the worst performers, so maybe that's not the example. Mittal, that's a French company. MIT, is that MIT? Oh, I don't want to mess around now. We're running out of time. MT. ArcelorMittal. Okay. ArcelorMittal, French aluminum. There it is. Look, it makes a big spike to an all-time high, or at least a multi-year high, right there at 41.28 on the 8th of October. Whoosh! Next day, it pulls back and it gaps down the following day. Now it's working its way up. That's a good sign. So it goes 41 down to 37. That's 10%. So it's having a nice counter-trend rally, but that's all I can say right now. So I have to consider that this weekly chart could be the brand new start of a new move. I'm going to be conservative and just call it F for now. Let it prove itself, and a D in the monthly chart. But it is acting quite well, considering that's the French aluminum, ArcelorMittal. So, okay, that's a good sign for our Alcoa. I don't know. Let me just see. I'm getting a little nervous. I shouldn't have spoken about it. I always don't like it when I speak about stuff that we have in our newsletter, if there isn't already a decent move. Oh, there is. Okay. It's up 5.29. It's up 14, almost 15%. All right, and it's holding so far. Oh, the day's young. All right, next question came in. Let me get to it. NBIS. Nebius Group. This is in the AI cloud GPUs. Makes a high of 140, all-time high, just over 140. Early in October. Now it's at 105. Yeah, if this rallies, I think I have to consider it to be a counter-trend rally. It's going to have to rebuild strength. It's had a really big move up, and now I think it's doing the consolidation that many of these cloud stocks are doing. And so that was that one. Next question came in. I did that. I spoke about FXI. I didn't follow through yesterday. FXI did pull back. Now it's gapping up. Yeah, I drew the rectangle. Look, the iShares China Large Cap ETF is right in the rectangle that I drew. I can actually raise this a little bit and say it's in this range. And if the 9-period moving average actually crosses positive, it should shoot up to the 41 level. If it just stalls here, it's got support at 39.50. It's at 40.73, 37 right now, up 37. So another question came in. Where did it go? The dollar. So the dollar, the XY. Remember, we were long the dollar for about 7 years, so for 2018, and then we got out early this year because I said, look, if the administration, in the previous, when it was in charge of the previous administration, the Trump administration said, we want a lower dollar because that'll allow our imports, it'll help the pricing. And then when it had a big bounce to the 110-ish, 109 level, 108, I said, you know what? If that's their ruling, I don't want to be in it. I think I want to be out. And we're out, and it's trading now 7 cents.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
So let me just sum up my position as it stands right now. So we've got a short position in the Dow. I'm making it a fairly tight stop because at this point, let's just say it's insurance. But we've also got long positions, and we've got long positions that did fantastically, and then they pulled back quite a bit. So we want to take a little bit off on any rally, just money management. But there's a chance, and this is what I must mention. Look, the semis are up 4.82. They were looking lousy yesterday, just within the upper range. If the semis make a new all-time high in October, I think that that's really important. And that's just saying if it together with something like General Motors moving higher, hopefully Alcoa keeps moving higher, this is going to say that there are like 2 or 3 parts of the economy. And one is this whole thing where you've got the traditional area, you've got a kind of contemporary area, and you've got a kind of a speculative area. And there I would put the quantum computing maybe for the moment. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying you've got to be kind of multifaceted right now. And I'm trying to do that. We'll see if that's going to work. But most importantly, if there is a break to the upside, and if the Qs and the S&P actually go to higher highs and make highs, all-time highs next week, I think that's going to be really important. And that's just saying that this market is extremely resilient. Resilient is the word. And trying to short it, you've got to be very timing perfectly. You got to get in and then have a good cushion because it's working. But if it's very narrow and the gain is narrow and you're short, you got to be very careful. So I'm saying be careful but very selective, and that's kind of what I've done here. I don't know if it's going to work, but that's what I'm trying. So have a wonderful day. Check out my opening call daily news. That, as I say, we've got Alcoa yesterday at the lows, and it's having a fabulous day today. Will it last? Who knows? Have a great day. Stay tuned for Steve Rhodes and all the great programming.